Welcome back to my channel. Today I will show you an episode from the 2021 movie titled, Sadness. Spoilers ahead. But before that, please hit like and subscribe for more videos. Jim and Kat wake up in their apartment and get ready on a day like any other. After having a small disagreement about any upcoming trip, a podcast interview catches the eye of Jim. A medical expert claims that a dangerous virus known as Alvin has potential to mutate into something far more serious. He urges the government to enact a nationwide quarantine. However, some virologists fear that it has the potential to mutate and cause serious illness. Jim drives Kat to her train station, but before arriving they pass a crime scene where a police officer restrains a man covered in blood. Afterwards, he drops her off and they reaffirm their love for one another before saying goodbye. Jim then heads to a nearby cafe. Suddenly, an old woman enters with blood on her nightdress. She spits in the face of a customer before throwing hot cooking oil on the worker behind the counter. The customer on whom she spit immediately attacks another man with a kitchen knife. Jim flees from the scene but witnesses further violent atrocities in the streets. Seemingly infected people with huge dark pupils and gleeful smiles brutally attacking anyone in sight. Jim runs home while pursued in an attempt to retrieve his phone. While there, he is attacked by his neighbor and loses 2 fingers that are severed by some hedge trimmers. After fending the neighbor off, Jim leaves town on his motorcycle. He has one thing on his mind: finding Kat. The next portion of the film focuses on Kat's story and the many horrific tribulations that she has had to overcome. Meanwhile, Kat's train is attacked by 2 infected men who stab passengers with knives and infect others, including a middle-aged businessman who has confessed his fascination with her. The Alvin virus transforms his anger at being rejected by her into a desire to rape and murder. As other infected passengers slaughter the others, Kat escapes from the train with Molly, a woman who was stabbed in the eye by the businessman. The businessman pursues them, armed with an axe. Jim escapes to the outskirts of town, passing scenes of sadism along the way. He manages to contact Kat, who tells him where she is. As they talk, he begins to cry and hallucinates that a living skull laps up his blood and sweat, signs that he is infected. The government broadcasts an emergency message vowing to get control of the situation, but an infected general then kills the president with a grenade. Kat and Molly arrive at the hospital, which is overrun with those who have been harmed by the infected. The hospital patients begin to panic, distracting the police officers there, just as the businessman and other infected locals break through the doors. The businessman continues his pursuit of Kat through the hospital's off-limits hallways, but she crushes his head with a fire extinguisher. Kat is then rescued by Dr. Wong, who has been hiding in the maternity ward. Wong explains that he attempted to find the cure for the Alvin virus, which, in its mutated form. When Kat finds an infected baby in a medical waste bin, Wong injects her with a serum of the virus to test if she is immune to it. He admits that he had conducted similar tests on the babies who had been abandoned in the ward. Kat manages to text her location to Jim, who has just arrived at the hospital. Realizing she is immune to the virus, Wong calls for a military helicopter, intending to take her to a safe location. He warns her that, without him, she will be shot on sight by the soldiers when they arrive. Wong manages to kill them but is wounded. Jim then arrives and, after a struggle, kills a now infected Wong, who admits with his last breath to having enjoyed killing the babies. Kat realizes that Jim is infected and locks him outside the stairwell to the roof. He tells her that being infected feels wonderful and that he can think of no more loving act than to mutilate and kill her. Disgusted and with her sanity broken, Kat flees to the roof, where she is presumably killed by the soldiers. Grinning sadistically at the thought of Kat being killed, Jim dies, sitting against the stairwell gate.